I think Panama is also a gem. And, whenever I found a gem, I'm very excited.
Investment migration is changing how global investors approach residency and mobility. After Portugal and Greece, a new destination is gaining attention: Panama, with its qualified investor program. Joining us is Jasmine Dang, CEO of Mercan Asia Mercadia, Global Business Development Director of Mercan Group, supported over 7,000 investors globally, sharing why Panama is becoming a market to watch. Jasmine, through your work you have been exposed to many different markets. Was there a place you encountered early on that left a strong impression on you?
I guess after years of working in immigration business, each market will leave me a different impressions. From China, from Thailand, Dubai, Portugal, USA, Spain, Greece, and I think now is Panama. So each market will have different type of immigration investment products, and at a certain times that people will literally they will decide to choose whether this product or that product will match their requirements. So as I believe that when I first stepped in Portugal back in 2015, back in that time, everything was like astounding. Like I kind of like found a gem. And when I came back, Vietnam, China, Cambodia, I always told people that, you know what, you have to go to Portugal one time. And I believe when you come back, you won't have a second feeling. It's kind of like a different feeling. Because in fact, Portugal at that time was really a gem that not many people in the world that they have explored the country. But then for 10 years right now, from 2015 until 2025, the whole world just coming to Portugal every day. And you can see that the market's booming, the real estate booming, investors booming, and also flocks of people coming from around the world that they choose Portugal as a place for retirement, for tourism, and just for education or maybe for the startup. But let's talk about the other country. Portugal is from my previous 10 years, Portugal gave me a very strong impression. But then later, when I started to explore further with the other markets like Greece, Spain, and other markets in Europe at the same time, Mercan, they actually found a new journey in Panama. So I was again another astounding moment, because Panama used to be my funness, as I say to everyone. Because back in the old time, 2013, I was one of the members that went to Panama for the Steel Corporation's business trip. And at that time, when I first landed into Panama, the whole city was very modern. And everything was very American style. So I came back Vietnam and kept telling people that maybe you need to look at Panama as one of the options for investment in the future. But at that time, from Vietnam to Panama is like 12 hours in difference. So it's really hard to find a proper market or the proper client niche to invest into Panama at that time. Until the time that I joined Mercan in 2013, 2014, up to now, this is the second time that it's kind of like brings back the old memory. And this old memory comes back with a glory feeling right now. Basically, now I have a chance to work with Panama one more time.
Looking at the developments in recent years, what signals do you see that Panama is actively working to attract international investors?
I think there's a lot of signals from the Panama government. And maybe we can start back to 2020 when they first launched the Panama Qualified Investor Program. That time, I think exactly the date, 15th of October 2020, based on the Decree 722, the Panama government, they launched the Qualified Investor Visa Program. And basically simply say that the investor will invest a minimum amount of $500,000 or maybe Babor. What I say is Babor is actually one of the currency in Panama, but it's denominated in dollar too. So if they invest an amount of $500,000, then they're qualified to apply for the PR in Panama. And basically, after 5 years, settle down their life there, they can also have a pathway to apply for citizenship. So this is the first step that Panama government, they open to the world. But we all know that 2020 is the COVID year, so everyone had to suffer a lot of pain at that time. So I guess the first effort didn't make it. Then it comes to 2024. It's that on the date 15th of October too. The Article 193 of that date, based on the law before on the Qualified Investor Program, the Panama government, they also wants to, send another signal to the world that, hey, we actually need the investor, so that they actually revise the minimum amount from $500,000 to $300,000. And well, in May 2025, Mercan's, the delegation of Mercan Group, first came to Panama to set up the first talk with the government. Why Panama? And why should the investor choose the Panama program right now? We have successfully gone through many meetings with the government and received a lot of support from them. So by December of 2025, we actually decided to invest into Panama. So Panama government first successfully attracted Mercan. Then later, 2025, at the end of 2025, when we start to set up the first two projects in Panama, we also excited to hear that the government, they're also open to the world. And if you have ever checked on the news and articles, then in IME Daily also have the Vice Minister of Commerce, Mr. Eduardo, openly talking about the Panama programs. And they also said a very key sentence that Panama government really want to take Spain and Portugal Golden Visa program as an example, because they actually want the world to look at them. And I believe after two times, with a lot of effort, this time they come on the stage and they want to show to the world how beautiful Panama is regarding to the investment, the immigration, and also for the tax incentive that the government give it out to the world.
Beyond the policy side, what makes Panama itself an interesting economy for global investors?
I think Panama is also a gem. And, whenever I found a gem, I'm very excited. And I keep talking about that. And I keep talking to a lot of people that before Portugal, I found a gem back in 2015. And back in the old time when I came to Portugal and I told people that, hey, Portugal is really a gem. And the Portuguese, the local people, they told me, Jasmine, this is just the beginning. And it's true. Then we experienced 10 years of taking off. Portugal taking off, to reach the glory days under the Golden Visa program and also the other tax incentive programs that the Portugal government, they offer to people, to the investors and also to the retiree people. And this time, I guess I make a second statement that Panama now is a gem. Because not just only what Panama can offer to people, looking at the investment side or the investment scheme, that if the investor they decide to invest in Panama, basically first they will enjoy the tax incentive. So Panama have the territory tax system. So which means that if you have the foreign income, then you bring to Panama, all the income will be exempt. And second, they also offer the pensionado program. So the pensionado program is actually the retiree program. It's allowed people that can come to Panama, settle out the life there, and also to enjoy the 25 up to 15% discount on life. You imagine that if you have the card saying that, okay, you're a retiree in Panama, and then whenever you get an access into hotels, entertainments, public transportations, or hospital treatment, you always get the discount. So what I say is a discount on lifestyle. And then second, if you basically move all of your stuff from your own country to Panama, you're entitled to have about $10,000 on the furnitures, all the goods duty-free to Panama. And also you can import the car to Panama, your own car to Panama without tax. So there's a lot of things that the Panama government, they give it out to the retiree people. And then the third thing is about the qualified investor visa program. Actually, I always say that this is a friendly way to say this is another golden visa program in Panama. But yeah, it's qualified investor program. First is about tax incentive. Second is about the lifestyle. And also third is about the pathway to the passport in case that they love Panama so much and they want to apply for the Panama passport. Then after 5 years, when they know a little bit of Spanish language and they take the citizenship test, they can qualify to apply for the Panamanian passport. So Panama passport is also powerful because it has access to, Schengen zones and some other countries in the world, 140 countries in the world. And also they have the E2 visa treaty with the USA too. So there are a lot of things to offer that Panama government offer to people. And I believe one of the main things that the investor they care for is the dollar economy, because dollar economy basically is the backbone of the Panama economy. As you see that the Panama has a lot of services offering to people. 75% is service, 25% is the other service, the other economy industry like agriculture, etc. So because of the 75% of the service, so the government, they basically built a big infrastructure that support the facility of the transactions, the global transaction, international transaction in dollars. So that's the reason why if the investor, they decide to invest into Panama, first, they invest by dollar. Second, they make money by dollar. And third, they exit by dollar with the tax rate is so friendly to people. For example, capital gain tax is just only 10%. And if the investor decides to sell their property maybe less than 5 years, they actually gains 0% on the tax. So there's a lot of things to say. I guess people need to go to Panama and explore how beautiful and how friendly the Panamanian, and maybe I think that you can find your second home there too.
As Panama enters the global investor conversation, the next question is how the program is being implemented in practice. In the next clip, we take you to Panama to meet the Mercan team and see how these opportunities are taking shape.